What is up, hustlers? On today's episode, I have Jeff Rizzo, the co-founder and CEO from Riznos and their new website, the Slumber Yard, joining me. So the company is a widely successful company that produces, honest and unbiased review content on YouTube, on their blog, of popular consumer products, and they monetize them through affiliate marketing. So a bit of background on Jeff. He's an investment banker before he started this business, and in 2016, they've received a growth investment, and since then, their annual revenue in 2018 has shot up to $5 million US. And this year, they are on pace to double up that revenue, which is insane, okay, for any company out there. So once again, I'm super excited to have Jeff on the show because I love how affiliate marketing works, and I'm going to try to pick his brain as much as possible. So stay tuned to find out more, okay? Hey Jeff, I just want to say I'm super excited to have you on the show today. And let's start by introducing yourself, your experience, and what your company does.
Great. Well, hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm ecstatic to be here. I love doing podcasts. So what I do is I run a couple of different websites, and they're all about helping people make purchase decisions. So we talk about home goods on one of our sites. We talk about technology on another one of our sites. We're really working hard now to spin off another website. So our goal is to provide reviews from your neighbor. So if you were to walk next door and ask your neighbor if he likes his couch, what would he say? That's what we're trying to do. And we like doing a lot of videos because we think they're a lot more engaging, which is why you asked me to turn my video camera on for the podcast.
It is. So what were you doing before you started this company?
I used to work in investment banking. So I worked in mergers and acquisitions, and I would help companies raise capital, help entrepreneurs sell their businesses. It was great. I loved it. That's how I met my business partner. It was a wonderful job, and it taught me a lot out of college. In fact, I don't think our business would be in the position it is now had we both not been investment bankers.
Why is that? Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Well, it taught us so many skills. I mean, just rudimentary things that will change your life for a long, long time. As an example, I would consider ourselves to be experts in Excel, which is absolutely necessary if you're doing any analysis. Now, most people getting out of college might have used it once or twice. Mm-hmm. If you're an investment banker, you're an advanced level user. Same thing with all the PowerPoint suites. You also have a level of professionalism that I think a lot of people don't get right out of college. And you're thinking about businesses differently. So if we're helping companies, our entrepreneurs sell their businesses, if we're trying to reposition companies, we're talking about strategy all day long. And so had I not been thinking about businesses from that perspective, I really don't think that they would be in a position we are now.
Right. So let's talk a little bit more about the Slumber Yard, because Matthew seems to place a little bit more focus on that company, and I checked out your website metrics. You guys experienced massive amounts of growth over the last year, and to be honest, full disclosure, I'm also an affiliate marketer, creating reviews and stuff like that. So yesterday I was looking through Ahrefs. I'm not sure if you use that tool, but Jeff, is it okay? Like it seems like your camera is stuck on my end. Can you hear me? Okay.
Oh, I got you just fine.
Okay, so never mind. I'm gonna cut that part. Okay. So and I noticed that mattresses is actually a huge growing niche site, and that's when I stumbled upon the Slumber Yard. I was doing my own research and I stumbled upon your website. And so I was thinking, wow, this guy's website is really, really well done. Extremely, very, very powerful reviews. I mean, you do the reviews in some of the videos yourself. So I'm just curious, what made you guys, how did you guys identify this opportunity in mattresses?
How do we do them? From what perspective?
Like in terms of, doing it as like a review from your neighbors.
Oh, yeah. I think one of our biggest advantages is from the very beginning, we've produced reviews as though you're just talking to your neighbor. And I think people really resonate with that. They don't feel like you're trying to sell them something. Again, I'm upfront about everything. I'm not one of the sleazy people that operate in the affiliate marketing industry. There's so many people, honest to goodness, I hate them. I just think you're just trying to shove products down people's throats. And I don't think you build an audience. I think we're one of the very few businesses out there in affiliate marketing that have an audience. And that's been our whole goal from the beginning. We'll sacrifice money today to build an audience tomorrow. So when people think of something, they want to come see our content.
Right. Fantastic. So I'm very curious, like in terms of mattresses, do you buy every single mattress, or how do you guys, what's the review process when it comes to the Slumber Yard?
Sure. So if you're to look at our entire business, I would say about 50% of the products we buy, 50% are sent for free. And obviously we don't consider them being sent for free as any sort of compensation. Honest to goodness, probably almost every product just sits at our office after we're done testing so that we can do more content and all this other stuff. So, we just did a bunch of videos in the cooler space. So we have a number of different categories we work in, and I think we spent $3,000-4,000 on coolers, a couple $1,000 just on ice testing coolers. So yeah, we get stuff for free, but we also spend quite a bit of money on it.
Right. How quickly, how do you guys fund the business? It sounds like you guys buy a lot of stuff in the beginning.
Yeah, we fund it through profit, but we did go out and raise a little bit of money early on.
Right. So it started off with Reese Knows, right? Can you tell me a little bit more about the first business?
Yeah, again, it was just a process of throwing stuff up against the wall to see what stuck, right? I loved being an investment banker. I thought I was pretty good at it, but I realized there's a growing category called wearable tech. I thought I was going to start an e-com website, and that obviously didn't happen because I was looking at the whole landscape. I said, Amazon's going to kill me. Let me start with some videos. And the videos took off. It was very serendipitous. I hit it at the right time. I hit it at the right time with YouTube. And I looked back. I've told the story a million times, but I looked back and I had a few videos that had hundreds of thousands of views. And it was all centered around the same thing: providing reviews as though your neighbor did them, telling people the truth, and just trying to be personable, because I try to be who I am in real life in our videos. And I kid you not, Riznos just took off. I had 1 million views within a couple of months. It was crazy.
Right. Did you expect this sort of success when it comes to producing YouTube video?
No, because I didn't know what to do, right? I'm the most average person you've ever met in your life. I knew nothing about SEO. I knew nothing about editing videos. I knew nothing about being in videos. I knew nothing about microphones and technology and all this stuff. I just knew that I think I could put together a decent opinion of a product and present it to people. And it turns out it resonated.
Wow. Like really, really good for you. So what kind of products do you start off with? Like your first few videos, wearable tech?
I think the first one that had a lot of views was that Nike, what's it called? The Nike Fit Band, the Nike, I can't even remember. Yeah, it started out with one of the Nike bands. It was great.
All right. And how many views did that video get you?
Ooh, off the top of my head, I don't know. But one of the first comparisons I did like 250,000 views almost right away.
Wow. So looking at HUSTLR's YouTube channel, we've got at most 1,000 views per video. So what advice would you give to people if they wanted to start reviewing products on YouTube?
Well, I would do it as a side project, right? As a side hustle. I would review the stuff that you have. And I'd only do it, though, if you're genuinely interested in products, because there's going to be a vicious cycle of people asking for other reviews, and people always want everything for free. And so I would just start off with what you have. And all I would do is I would sit down and I would just talk to the camera and say exactly what you think. Forget about being recorded. Forget about everything else, and just speak to people, because that's what people want.
They want authenticity and like a personal connection. Am I right? Say that?
Of course. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's probably the same with your podcast audience, right? And your YouTube audience. They just want to hear real stories from real people that have built a business and done it in a unique way.
Right. Okay. So along the process, was there something that you wish you knew before you started this business?
So many things. I think one part about being an entrepreneur, right? Originally, it was a side hustle and it made me very little money. And then eventually it became my full-time job. And that entire process just makes you feel stupid. I'm sure there are so many other entrepreneurs, maybe even yourself included, that I look back and I think, I'm an idiot. I don't think I've ever felt smart as an entrepreneur. So let me just think off the top of my head. I wish I knew how to edit a video. That would have been great. I had to teach myself how to use iMovie. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Here's one thing, and it's going to come off like a hypocrite because I'm sure my audio isn't great now. But I really wish I learned a little bit about microphone technology early on because my earliest videos had terrible audio, which distracted from the content. And that's the one small thing I could have done that I really think would have helped me out.
Right. Okay. So how long have you been running this business? Like, when did it started off as a side hustle, and when did you transition into working on it full time?
So it started as a side hustle in 2013 and full time probably mid 2014, somewhere around there.
So it only took about a year. So when was the tipping point where you knew, like, okay, I'm gonna double down on this. I'm gonna go full time.
Well, part of it was I needed to save enough money to be able to sustain some losses for a while. So I needed to work on some projects. The other part of it was that I started to see, oh my goodness, I'm actually onto something because originally I felt embarrassed to tell people I have a YouTube channel because I felt like I was a nobody. And to tell you the truth, I've never felt more down about myself. And then I realized, you know what? I'm going to own this. I have millions of views on YouTube. I've helped out already probably 500,000 people, in the first year. And I should own this and try to be better at what I'm doing and try and turn it into a real business. So it wasn't necessarily actually making that much more money. I just realized that I want to do something unique with my life. I can't just fold this thing up. I got to really try for it. And I was lucky, right? I was 21. I was living in my parents' house. I was working in their garage. So I had so many other things that people aren't afforded to them. But I just felt like I got to go for it right now. And I'm sure you know this. This was at a time when YouTube was still pretty early on, 2013. A lot of the programs were established. There wasn't a real operational business model out there. And it was the first time we were starting to see YouTube videos showing up in Google results, the very first time. And so I just got lucky. I'm not the smartest guy out there. I just got lucky. I don't know how else to explain it.
Right. So, okay, let's dig a little bit deeper. You mentioned that, you had a YouTube channel and you were ashamed to tell people about it. Can we just, stick on that and, let our audience know why is that? What was
Well,
going through your head?
I don't think in 2013 it was very respected. In fact, if I would tell anybody, it was though they were looking down on me. And it's probably the same way now, but nobody knew that there could ever be a business to be had with YouTube. So it was laughable to a lot of people. So I was just kind of ashamed of it. And, but again, it became that inflection point where I just said, I'm going to own this thing. This is who I'm going to be. I think I'm pretty decent at it, and I want to be really good at what I'm doing. So the same thing, right? When I was in school, I wanted to be the best at what I was doing. When I was an investment banker, I wanted to be the best young investment banker at our company. It's just in my DNA. But at the same time, to go from such a prestigious job as an investment banking, I mean, a couple of people at Berkeley get that job every year, maybe 30 max, something like that. Then to be making YouTube videos is a giant drop off the cliff, and a lot of people will just laugh in your face, which actually happened.
Right. Okay. So, really, really interesting journey that you've had there, and I'm not sure if you're comfortable sharing this with our audience. But what does your we can cut this off, okay, if you're not. How does the revenue growth and traffic for your websites look like?
It's very linear.
Okay. It's very
So
linear.
I've always told everybody that our business could be more like a hockey stick, but I hold it back. And I think part of what holds it back is that I'm not an expert in what I'm doing. I'm still learning every day. We also have a very strong ethical code. So look, I could make a lot more money, and frankly, I get bribed all the time to say good things about products, but we won't do it. We've never done it. I think in the history of Riznos, we've done 6 sponsored videos, and they've never been reviews. So at the end of the day, I'm holding our company back, but I just won't allow it. So really, employee growth, revenue growth, profitability, everything has been linear. It's probably almost embarrassingly linear. We're not like other, internet companies, just steady as it goes.
Right. So because, you guys don't want to just get paid to say shit about a certain brand, for example. You just want to stay true to your audience.
Yep.
So, and you
at the
okay,
same
go
time,
ahead.
Oh no, all I was going to add was that limits our revenue streams, right? A lot of people add on sponsorships, and we've done it we've probably done 1,800 videos. We've done it 6 times. So I'm not sure what that comes out to, but extremely infrequently it hamstrings our revenue streams. We're going to look into other things that aren't sleazy, but it's a great business, and it's not a great business because it's hard to diversify unless you're getting into new categories.
Right. Okay. So I wanted to ask for something. You mentioned that, you're not great at certain things. So what does your team look like, in terms of skill set? And do you hire like agencies to help you out in a certain area of the business? No?
No. So we have a number of writers. We have a number of producers. We have a graphics guy. And then Matt does a lot of our analytical work. So it's really, I've kind of outsourced everything I'm terrible at. And the only thing I'm really good at is doing videos. And so I don't know, maybe that was a smart move, maybe it was a dumb move, but I'm not great at editing videos or working on cameras or handling lighting or audio. So I pay somebody to do it. Same thing with writing, same thing to do with all the financial analysis. I'm pretty good at that, but Matt is better than me. So we'll let him do it. And then graphics, I'm probably the worst person you've ever met in your life.
I think that's very normal when it comes to graphics. I suck when it comes to graphics design as well. So, okay, if someone wanted to start a review business today in 2019, what advice would you give them?
Probably the best advice I could say is just try to build an audience. So that sounds counterintuitive, but it will actually help you out. So I try to make a connection with the people in all of our videos and even in our written reviews by adding humor, etc. I just really think that's going to sustain our business because look, there are more people in all of these categories than ever. There's more people reviewing technology than ever. Same thing with coolers and outdoor gear. Same thing with home goods. Same thing with mattresses. I mean, there are more people than ever. There are almost no barriers to entry to this stuff. So the only thing you can do is to differentiate yourself by providing better content and connecting with people. If you're going to get, at the end of the day, you're still going to get mostly passersby. But if you can build an audience, I actually think you'll have a real business when it's all said and done. So I would say do more videos. Try to connect with people and don't spam people. I mean, we don't send any emails. I think we sent 15 emails ever because I just think they're spammy nowadays. So I don't know. And again, I'm not even an expert. I could probably sit down for an hour and learn a lot from you. All I know is that I can talk in videos. Like my mom loves to talk. I love to talk, and somehow it's working out.
Okay, I'm really, really happy for you. And it sounds like you have a really good business that actually helps people make great purchasing decisions rather than, stuffing. Like a lot of affiliate marketers out there, they give great reviews to almost everything and get, and just stuff and just, fills up people's purchasing decisions with the wrong information, for example. So perfect.
Sure.
So last question for you. What plans do you have to take the Slumber Yard to the next level? I'm not sure if
Well, it's not
it's
just
too
about
sensitive.
No, of course not. This all of this stuff is the same thing that we've been doing. So the Slumber Yard, we're going to continue doing what we've been doing, right? We're going to make better content. We're going to try and get it in front of other people. But the company at large, our larger company, we're just going to add on other categories to take our strong ethical standards and the personal nature of our content and bring it to other categories. I love software. I want to start doing more software. We are really interested in like the patio space, right? Like coolers, grills, that sort of thing. So we're really curious to enter that space. We're kind of using Riznos as a little bit of a testing ground to do that now, but we're going to do the same thing we're doing now in other categories. And that's actually one thing that we've learned is we tried to be a jack of all trades originally, like one website, one YouTube channel, canvas the earth. It's not going to work like that anymore. You have to hyper focus and you have to try and build an audience. So the same thing. Yeah, I sound like a broken record. I'm sure your audience is sick of it by now, but the same
But
thing.
it's what
over
works,
and over
so
and
it's
again.
fine. It's what works. So don't you think that the software space is, I know I said the last question, but I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit more. So you mentioned software, you like software, but don't you think that space is like extremely extremely concentrated already? Like companies like CNET, software reviews and stuff like that. I'm not really familiar with that space, but CNET is the one that comes to mind when it comes to software reviews.
Yeah, everything's going to be competitive, right? You just have to try and pick them. I mean, airlines were competitive before Southwest Airlines, so you just try and pick your battles and differentiate yourself. I mean, one thing we're going to do is try and make things more personable. That's for sure. Software is definitely not personable.
Right. So when you say software, what kind of software do you mean?
Well, we're still exploring that. We're looking at all the different categories and we're trying to learn as much as we can about each one of them. To tell you the truth, it's sort of like a 75% baked idea. We don't have them all yet. I can tell you right now, I don't like human capital management software. That is extremely competitive, and there's so many bolt-on features that it's hard to talk about it. So there are some that we're going to strike, but I don't know. We're still learning about it.
Okay, that's cool. So perfect. I just want to say good luck with, I'm pretty sure you don't need any, but
no, I do. I want it all. Thank you.
Okay, so good luck with that. And I think this is definitely one of the more interesting episodes on the podcast because you have an interesting business model and you come from a really interesting background as well, coming from investment banking. We don't get a lot of them on this podcast. So before we end this episode, Jeff, is there anything that you'd like to add on to our audience?
They should just do it, right? Just start. And so many people ask me, like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. I just say, just try it. Who cares? If you don't like it, delete it. Do it again. You just got to try. Start it. If you've got a lot of people interested in a side hustle, just start it. If it doesn't work, try something else.
Right, nothing much to lose, right? So, okay, one more message for you guys. If you're looking to get mattresses or any products anytime soon, definitely check out the Riznos YouTube channel and also myslumberyard.com because they make amazing reviews, okay? Before you buy anything, make sure you check their websites out. And okay, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm excited that you would let me on.
Okay. So guys, that's the end of this episode. If you're looking to get mattresses or anything else, anytime soon, check out myslumberyard.com or RIZAC KNOWS.com. Riznos and watch their top-notch reviews before you decide to buy anything, because they're 100% unbiased and honest. So one more thing before we end this episode, I want to know what you guys think about this episode. So I want you to head on to www.hustler.com/feedback and let me know what you think about this episode, because I want to hear from you, okay? So thanks for listening. See you in the next episode. Bye guys.